Beige Flag. Beige Flag.
Welcome everyone to the Beige Flag. My name is Adam Tahir, and with us we have our great co-host Baron Bara.
Co-host.
Yeah, Haley, if you're watching this, remember I said that we'll be doing auditions now since you stopped showing up a lot of the times and you stopped ditching us. So I took that seriously, and now we are doing auditions. So now we have our co-host back. We have Baron back for another episode. This time, Baron asked to be on the pod. He said he wanted to share something really special. So Baron, what brings you back?
Yeah, well, hey guys, I'm glad to be back, first of all. Well, I wanted to come back because I feel like the last time I was here, I was kind of spewing more sad energy, but I feel like there's been some good things, some new things that's happened in my life that I feel like I wanted to share more happy things. And so part of that is, we'll explore it in a little bit here. So I'm excited to be back. But Haley, please come back.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Okay. So what has changed since the last time you were here? What exactly brings you back? And what kind of positive energy you said you want to bring to the pod?
Yeah.
Has there been anything specific?
No, yeah, I'll dive into the specifics. So, so it's been a month or so, a couple of months since I was here.
Yeah.
And I think I've gotten to the point in my life where, as you guys know, I was just going through a breakup around then, and I've gotten to the point now where I feel like I'm ready again. I got my, I got through all my grieving, got through all those process that I really wanted to get through, and so, and with Valentine's season that's come around, I felt like it was the perfect time to maybe jump back into dating, into maybe opening myself up more, and yeah, so I went on a date. So it's been great. I met someone. So yeah.
There's too much happening.
Okay,
so
sorry.
You said you went on a date. So first of all, did you go on date like some people do on Valentine's Day as a first date, or did you go before or after? What exactly happened? Walk us through it.
I'll walk you through it then. So I'll kind of just start with a little basis thing where I basically wanted to pursue maybe look through some of my old friends that I have, and wanted to see if there's anything that was potential there. And
so you kept it close to home.
Yeah, I kept it close to home, and I also felt like that was the kind of connections I wanted. And so there was someone that I've been talking to recently quite a bit, and so a couple of days before Valentine's, I went on a hangout with her. We'll just call it a hangout, okay?
When you say hangout, is it just
a one-on-one? But
is it come over, we'll watch Netflix? Or
No, definitely not like that. More like your typical friends, you got to eat, and then we also spent time learning line dancing and stuff like that. And then after, I kind of wanted to set that stage up just because I wanted to see if this person was available, if there was someone, if our vibes were clicking, one-on-one, because I've never hung out with her by myself and things. So
wait, you went line dancing? So have you done line dancing
no,
before?
that's my first time.
Has she done line dancing?
Yeah, she's big on dancing. She loves dancing. So
is she from Texas?
Thing. No, she's not from Texas. But I mean, that is a very cowboy Texan kind of vibe. Yeah. But that was really fun. I was always a fan of line dancing, but I've never been doing those. But when I watch it in movies and things, and it's fun. When learning electric slide as a kid, I always thought that was kind of what line dancing was. Yeah. But nope, I did not expect that it was actually this is cardio workouts when you actually go line dancing. So
then what happened? How did the date progress?
So then basically at the end of the night, I kind of wanted to be okay, I'm gonna make a move here. So I already bought flowers. I bought donuts. I put this little card on the flowers that was basically a free voucher Valentine date. That's kind of how I approached it. Okay. I thought it was a little safe way to kind of ask one of your friends out, But so I was, dropping her off, and this is just the craziest thing because obviously this is one of my friends, right? And so when I said, hey, please, don't leave yet. I gotta give you some stuff before you go. So I went to the trunk, grabbed the flowers, grabbed the donuts, and I ended up giving her the donuts first, and then I also gave her the flowers after. And the first thing she said right when she got the flowers, she said, "Oh my gosh, we should totally normalize giving friends Valentine stuff."
Bag it to the heart right away.
So then I was like, right then I thought that was her indirect way of either like politely saying no, like or declining my advances. So
Okay.
I was like, oh wow, this okay. I mean, I shot my shot and then it didn't
So
go
you
through.
waited till the end of the date to give.
Yeah,
it
because I wanted to yeah, exactly. It was in my car, and I wanted to feel it out, see if if there was any obstacles first, if there's like someone that she's talking to or something. What do you mean?
Are you playing a video game where it's like you're trying to
No,
clear
I'm
and
just
get to the
yeah, and then it's
end
like,
of the level?
yeah, you're like, okay, now I see the road is clear, and I'm gonna take my shot here.
Okay.
And so
So you maximize your odds right then.
yeah, but then her response was that she was like, I thought she was basically like saying no, keep me in the friend zone and everything, but so then I ended up driving away because I thought that was that was it, and then she like calls me back literally immediately, like a minute or 2 minutes later. She was like, wait, like, do you want to talk about this? Because she saw the Valentine card on there, and I don't, and so I came back, and so we just hashed it out and talked about it, and then she said, like, oh yeah, I'll be down. Like she gave me like a response basically a day later saying like she'll take me up on the offer, but basically.
So what do you guys talk about when you guys went back and talked about it?
Yeah, I mean, she kind of just, it's the typical stuff. It was more like, oh, when did it start? Like, because obviously we're friends, so like, how did it, yeah, like basically, like, is it serious? Like, and she also knows, through what happened with my breakup and things, so she's been kept up to date on that, and so we talked a lot about more of like, she was kind of gauging how serious I was, and if I actually had like feelings, and I was like, I feel nervous when I talk to you. I get butterflies. So yeah, like I feel like there's something, so I'm gonna like, try to do something about it. And so then she she appreciated that, and then basically took me up on the offer. And so I'm gonna move on to the date now. But do you have any follow ups on this?
So wait. So
yeah,
she said, "Take me up on the offer." So you went in, you talked, and that was it. Like
yes.
But how does she feel? Does she say like how does she feel about you? Because you said you had butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah, I think that was the first time that she got any wind of that, I would say. But we've been talking a lot, and so then she brought up like, oh yeah, we have been like talking a lot, but she just legit thought it was all friendly,
Okay.
And so when she kind of just brought up, she's like, give me like a couple of days, let me think about this, because I'm not looked at you that way, right?
Okay,
so that's when I was like, okay,
she's gonna do the pros and
yeah,
cons.
she's gonna like talk to her friends, maybe talk to her
the group
siblings,
chat is up and already, yeah.
Yep, and basically evaluate whether she should proceed. And so I gave her that discretion. I gave her that time to just like think about it, and she got back to me the next day and was like basically like, okay, I'll take you up, let's see what you got. And then she told me to basically plan a date. But it was not going to be on Valentine's Day just because it was super short notice. This was basically the day before Valentine's, and Valentine's was like on a Wednesday.
Gotcha.
So we ended up just finding a date, which was on Saturday, that worked for both of us. And so basically that night, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go plan a date with this girl. And
so what did you plan? So what happened?
Yeah.
Tell us about this big first date. Were you scared? How were you feeling before?
Yeah, so yeah, I'll dive into all of that. So basically, like that night after she told me that she would take me up on it, I was so happy, right? Because I legit did not think she was going to say yes. Just because just the vibe I got was like, there was just no way to get over that friend threshold. Obviously, the friend zone threshold is like insanely difficult. So I was genuinely surprised when she said she was down. And so then right when, we were FaceTiming when she told me, and then when we, hung out, I basically got to planning right away. I like could not sleep that night because I was like, I want to make sure like.
So were you planning like the best date for a? Okay, before I go,
Yeah.
Have you ever had a crush on this girl before? Like when you were friends, did you like see her that way or?
No, but I always like enjoyed like my vibe with her, and then when I was like, we met up like one time back, after my relationship ended, and I was like, oh, it's like there's like something there, but not like an actual like crush or something,
Gotcha.
But and I was like, I need to work through all my stuff first, and then, it kind of just made sense to me, and I felt really comfortable with her, so that I wanted to pursue that. But yeah.
Tell us the date. How were you planning it?
Yeah. So then, right when I was planning it, so I ended up choosing. I wanted some place where I can do multiple things.
Yeah.
Just so like, I always wanted where a date where there's no awkward lag or awkward spot in the middle where you're kind of not doing anything, just
Okay.
to ensure that the vibes are always kept up. So then I wanted a spot where we could do all that. So I ended up choosing Bellevue, and
Why Bellevue?
just because it's something that I know of. It has like a date atmosphere,
Okay.
and she's not really, she doesn't really go there as much because she's lives in Seattle.
So,
And
so you're saying it's your
it has like
home
a surprising.
territory? Yeah.
No, it's not my home territory, but I have more familiarity with it, so I feel like I can control it better,
Gotcha.
and I can foresee, like wait times and like traffic and stuff like that. I'm thinking about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and like the vibes and everything. So then, ended up going to Bellevue. Reserved. I wanted to go to this one Mexican place. It's like a more elevated Mexican dining.
Which one?
Cantina Monarca.
Okay.
It's right across Fogo de Chao. So that was
Why didn't
my.
you take her to Fogo de Chao? All you can eat Brazilian steakhouse.
She's not a big beef red meat.
So I think all right. So back to the story. So you pick out this cantina.
Yes, I picked that out. I wanted to go there, but all their reservations are booked out just because it's basically Valentine's weekend still, right? Because
Yeah.
Valentine's was on Wednesday.
You picked the perfect week to
So-
like take someone on a first date. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I had a backup restaurant just in case I ended up like we couldn't walk in there. So that one I had reservations on, and it was in Water Grill, which is like a seafood kind of place.
Mhm.
And then I also planned I did a reservation after at Forum Social House to play mini golf. And then
Which I wanted to go to, but you said no.
and then after I wanted to leave some time for ice cream, like Molly Moons, because she's a big Molly Moons person.
Okay.
So basically, let me just so that was the date, that was the plan, right? And
Yeah.
so called all of those, and so the general gist was pick her up and then basically head to Bellevue and do all that. So I'll go through kind of like how the day started and everything, just because it was such a shaky start. So I pull up, right? I get to her place, and
And your ex is there.
no, my ex was not there. What happened was, she was basically hungry, like, kind of was evaluating where she eat something small, because I did tell her I was transparent with her about, hey, I'm trying to go to this place. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get in, so we might have to wait a while, right?
Yeah.
And so she was a little like, oh, I should snack on something, right, before. And so I didn't want her to snack on something because I brought her a snack, actually, because she loves hot Cheetos. So I brought a hot Cheetos bag for it, just because I was like, I thought it would be to help relax her,
Yeah.
and also, yeah, if she gets hungry in the car, like she'll eat it or something.
Did you get the really hot Cheetos?
No,
or
just the normal one. That's her. That's
Yeah.
her go-to. So then, but I didn't want to say because I wanted it to be a surprise, right? I wanted it to be like, oh, I was thinking about you, and then, but then she's texting. She's like, oh, I feel like I should eat something. And I was like, no, trust me, you don't have to. She's like, how do you know? You know? And I was like, okay, I don't want to start this off bad. And so I was like, okay, fine, go eat something small, So I get to her place, pick her up. She's right at the door. Get her inside the car. And the first thing I noticed, so I come out and she's like outside, and there's like a light, like a lamp right outside her door. And she was wearing these like this thing that was like sticking out from her ear. It was like white, right? No, it's like just she was basically wearing earrings, but I mistakenly thought it was AirPods. So I thought she was wearing AirPods when we got in the car. I was like, oh, what are you listening to? And she's like, what? I was like, what are you listening to? Don't you have your AirPods on? And then she's like, AirPods? I don't have my AirPods. And I was like, and I made the joke. I was trying to make a joke, saying like, wait, do you have AirPods on? Because like
And
you have
now
your
you
friend.
insulted her, like,
do you have,
outside.
do you have like a friend that is on the line on there
Yeah.
just because you're like trying to see, like spy on the date or something, see how, evaluating me afar or something. And then she's like, and she took it like, she did not take it as like a joke that I wanted to make it, But she took it as like, what? Like, you
She-
think I would do? She was like, you think I would do that? You think that's so rude, right? And I was like, I was also like, it's been 10 years since I've been on a first date. So, I feel like things have changed basically, ever since for 10 years. So it didn't knock it off.
All the rookie moves in the
Yeah. And the first, I felt so worse too because, I was like, oh, like, I don't see you wear those earrings. Like, cause I've seen her and she never wears those kinds of, it was like a loop, like a hoop earring. And then her response was, well, I only bring it out on special occasions. So basically, I was like, I felt so bad just because this is like a special occasion earring, and I basically compared it to like an AirPod. So I was like, so I was basically like, please, like, let's restart. And then I gave her the hot Cheetos bag, and I was like, here, this is why I didn't want you to eat.
And then at that point, she's already eaten.
Yeah, she's like, wait, what? She's like, I already, I don't need this. I was like, I know, but I wanted to relax you, and this
So
is
I'm
your
assuming
snack.
at this point you're having a lot of like jitters in you.
Yes. And then, but the thing that calmed me down was basically she was like, she just asked me, "Are you nervous?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm really excited too. But yeah, I am nervous." And she's like, "Don't be nervous. It's just me." And I was
Yeah.
like, so that really calmed me
So
down.
that, at least that's a good sign.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like, "Ooh, green flag," trying to like really
Yeah.
tone me down and settle me down. And so then after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. Like, actually, no, we get to the restaurant, right? We get to the restaurant that I wanted to go to, the cantina, and basically they were just like, "No, we can't have you
At all?
At all. Like, we don't have anything until 11 o'clock." And I was like,
What?
"Oh wow! Like, we can't even like wait."
Bellevue?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday and then Valentine's night. But basically, they were like, "Yeah, we can't have you." And so,
Okay.
but it's so funny because all this whole line of people in Fogo de Chao, it was such a long line. Like, people were waiting there, and you can see all these Valentine flowers. So everyone was still in the Valentine mood. But basically, so we ended up settling for the second location, which
Oh.
actually worked out really well because when she got in there, I told her, I was like, "I'd never eaten here, but I've been here for like drinks and stuff, but I just never eaten here, so I have no idea how good the foods are and everything. But I like the vibe, I like the aesthetic, I feel like you would like it, so I made it as a backup." And then so we went there, and right when she got there, she's like, "I feel like this is way better." Like, she just liked the whole vibe better. We got to sit, we had our reservations and stuff, so we didn't even have to wait long because they were able to accommodate us, even though my reservation time was still not on the clock yet.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to seat us early, so it got pretty good started. And then and so that was like when I was like, okay, that's when it kind of hit me. It was like, okay, this is like the legit date when it starts,
Okay.
So
So were there like, okay, so now compared to the first time you guys hung out, now this,
yeah.
how were the vibes different? Were there more like, does it feel like more of a date? Was there a more romantic aspect to this happening right now, or?
Yeah, like what was good about it was clear from both of us
Yeah.
that it was a date, right? So everything, like paying for it, whatever, like sharing a meal and stuff, like it was kind of all unspoken. It didn't have to be. It didn't have to be said, right?
So you paid probably.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then, but everything was nice. Like we ordered apps first. I ordered like a wine too for myself. She didn't want any. She didn't drink anything. And we got like oysters and stuff, and we ordered our entrees. We shared the entrees and stuff. And the whole time, I was kind of trying to balance like how to kind of go from like friendly conversations to like more date conversations, right?
Okay.
So we'll get into this more later, right, about first date questions and stuff. But it wasn't like one of those typical first date just because I know this person, right?
So-
So I couldn't ask like,
But wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity to go real deep on the first
yeah,
date?
yeah. So I kind of took that opportunity. So like, I didn't, I kind of was looking at like what questions do people really ask on the first date, and I just
So where did you look online?
I was looking online and stuff, and then I kind of just stumbled on kind of making my own in a way, just because everything was kind of on the surface stuff that I already felt like I knew about her. Like what's your actually one of them was like, what's your favorite color? I actually didn't know what her favorite colors were, so we talked about that and stuff. But like a question I would ask her like that I brought up was like, if what are your deal breakers or something,
Okay.
So she kind of went through her.
So what was the
I went
deal
through mine.
breaker?
I'm not gonna share her deal breakers, like it's not on the pod. I could share mine. Like
Okay, what did you say? What was
mine was
like if you're a vegetarian?
No. I guess yeah. To think about it, I could have said that, but one was for eating. My deal breaker is when people eat and they eat with their tongues out first.
What?
Like go like this, and then they eat. It's the people that also lick their fingers when they pass out pieces of paper.
Oh.
Like that was my deal breaker. So I was telling her that.
Okay.
And one of hers was actually this was like it's just a small one, so I feel like I could share this. It was like if you eat with like an overhand, like your fork, you're not like using like this, but you're doing an overhand kind of eating your,
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, so that was one of hers. And so it was nice because we got to talk a lot about that stuff. So then, the after we wrapped up the dinner, ended up paying for it. Nice, but wow, dates these days are not cheap anymore. Oh my goodness. So then
So I'm assuming Water Grill went well. So now
it was,
we move
yeah.
on
So
to
now we're moving
Forum.
on to Forum. So I was like, okay, next thing we're gonna go to is just upstairs, and she's like, "Oh, we're going to." She didn't know like
She thought this was gonna be the end.
Yeah, she didn't know that we were going to, and especially that it was just like right up there. And then so when we go up there, the first thing she says, if you ever see Forum Social House, there's like this big Top Golf like emblem right on the wall, and she's like, "No, Baron, I don't want to do this." And I was like, "Shoot," just because I thought she's been here before, so she knew what we were doing. So I was like, "Oh, like, dang, I don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna do, right?" But she's like, "I don't want to play golf, you know." And I was like, "Wait, we're not playing golf." She's like, "Oh, we're not," but you know, because she saw the emblem, I was like, "No, do you want?" Because we played mini golf before,
Yeah.
you know, and I was like, you know, like, "Are you okay with putt putt?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm good," but she didn't know there was putt putt in there.
Oh, she yes.
She associated
because walk
the
into
Top
Forum
Golf.
and it has the Top Golf.
Yeah,
yes.
because all you can see is like Top Golf, and then you can see virtual, like
Yeah.
people playing virtual Top Golf, you know. So then you can't really see the mini golf, which is way behind. The funny thing about this place is, if you don't know, is this place after 10 p.m. it turns into a nightclub, like a legit nightclub. And so I was trying to get out of there by 10 because I didn't want to send that vibe, like send that
Right.
message, like this is what I want to do on the first date. Like no. So then you know I kind of had it really scheduled out. So I said I wanted to do Molly Moons like after right by 10 o'clock. I wanted to get out of there. So we get in and they reserve. You know I asked for a reservation, so they reserved us on a table and everything. And basically we ordered some drinks first, and we ended up talking for so long. Even though we
At Forum?
at Forum before we even played mini golf, like I already got all our clubs, but there were so many people playing
So you
on
took a
mini
break?
golf.
Because there's
that-
like a separate section where you
Yeah,
can sit.
so we just
Yeah.
kind of sat down for a while. We wanted to wait out on the people to help the crowd lessen a little bit. But we just talked, and we talked for so long. Like we talked for like an
What do
hour.
you guys talk about? Like
just
just,
like
random stuff?
yeah, it got a little deep where it's like it's not the typical conversation I was like really imagining on a first date. Like we even talked about like religion stuff where I feel like
Okay.
you know, but I have this necklace that I wear, and so she was like asking about those things. So like that's how kind of deep it got, and so we talked a lot about you know like lifestyles, what we expect from a partner, what we don't want from partners, what you know like more deal breakers. One of the questions I asked her too was like stuff like houses, like what's a room that you feel you need, like that describes you like in a house, like what's like a room that you want in your own house, you know, and
You
hers.
stole my hinge question, but yeah.
Oh really? Oh, that was yeah. So mine was like you know I want a movie room. Like
Yeah.
I love movies and things, and she loves reading. So hers was more like she wants like a library, which you know it made sense to me. So we kind of just like talked about a lot about those things, and then we finally ended up playing mini golf. And basically I was like, let's make a bet. Like whoever loses has to plan. If there's a next date, plans the next date.
Okay.
But then she's like, she kind of said no. She's like, no, I don't want. She kind of felt like she was gonna lose. So she's like, no, I don't want to.
Is she like, do you think, more introverted side or more extroverted?
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually really attracts me to her because she is self-proclaimed introverted. But every time I saw her, like I saw her in school or whatever, I you know just being with her, she always felt extroverted to me
Okay.
because she's kind of in a way a little similar to me where she's kind of like a chameleon where
Yes.
she can be extroverted when there's extroverted people around, or she can be introverted when you know when there's like quiet more people around. But her default is more introverted. Like she'll be the type to like be on a plane and be like, no, don't talk to me. I'll like read my book. And
Will you describe her as then an ambivert?
what's that?
It's between like an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, I would say she's an introverted extrovert,
Yeah.
as I would say. Like I think I'm an extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
So, but in that way, I would say that. So
Okay, so now
Yeah.
you guys are talking. It's getting late. You're at Forum. So
Yeah.
what happens? Do you end up playing mini golf?
yeah, we do. So like I said, we play mini golf. We don't end up making the bet, which is good because she actually destroyed me. I suck at mini golf. And I've been there. That's my third time there. That was her first time there.
Okay. So,
And I legit lost.
so
I was like,
probably she has like a mini golf putt set in her home.
yeah, maybe. Like she absolutely crushed me. So that was kind of embarrassing. But
So then you take her to Molly Moons.
I didn't get to take her to Molly Moons because it was so late. So I passed the 10 o'clock thing. So she saw it. I was like, oh, this is what I mean when I told you about the nightclub thing. So we ended up leaving Forum like almost like midnight, basically, like 11:30. And
So you did not enjoy the nightclub while it was happening?
no, I was like, no, that's not. There was not even a lot of people dancing and stuff too. What happened was, so let me just give a little
So
background.
did you take her downstairs to like the bowling alley too?
No, that's also closed out after like they don't let people in after like 10.
No, there's a nightclub in
like
there
the lucky.
too.
I know, but you have to be in there already.
No, you can go in. Lucky Strike has a line.
Lucky Strike? I don't know. Well, last time I
Anyway.
tried going there. Anyways. But you just context is she's kind of like a early bird person. So usually like 10, 11, she's already like knocked out.
Yeah.
So I was like planning to, take her home now and everything. But what's so great is like she actually like asked to like hang out more. But
She said she
closer to closer to her like where she lives.
Yeah.
So we went back to Seattle and I was like she was like, "Are you down to like, talk more or like?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Heck yeah, I am," because I'm like late owl person. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still energized. Like that's nothing to me. And so we ended up going to a bar here in Seattle, just like literally stayed there and talked even more, and we got ciders together, and then we talked a lot more. We basically talked until they kicked us out. Like we stopped at like 2:30.
Jeez.
So it was like a long date. Something I expected was only gonna be like 4 hours, like 7:30 or
Yeah.
to like 11:30, and it ended up just going till 2:30.
So I'm assuming this. Where would you rank it on like your list of like dates? Well, I'm assuming you don't have a lot of like background to go off from.
Yeah.
So you go on this date. It turns really well. So how did you end the night?
Yeah, and then I basically just dropping her off, and basically I just asked her, I was like, so like, is this how you feeling? Like, do you feel like there's a one-time thing, or do you
Yeah.
want to keep hanging out and stuff? And then she was like, definitely, let's hang out more. So I was like, nice.
So who's planning
Took
the
that as a W.
third date now?
Yeah, so we still haven't. So because it's busy season right now for work and stuff, it's been a little harder to nail down like a date. But I'll probably see her next weekend. We kind of initially talked about it today.
So what does she do for work again?
She's also she does accounting too, but not in
Okay.
tax like me. But she understands all that. Just
So you're
'cause we did.
seeing her next weekend.
Yeah, hope
You're-
so.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yeah, but I'm nervous too. We'll see.
So what do you think like you're gonna plan on doing?
I don't know. Probably need some good ideas. Like I feel like I had an idea because I was thinking about multiple things for the first date. So maybe I'll just do like whatever thing I was like kind of planning on last time. But I haven't nailed it down yet. I feel like I don't know if it needs to like live up to it again or like surpass it. I don't know the kind of vibe I should
So
give.
you're
there.
in like you're in the
'Cause I
honeymoon
feel like-
stage now, right?
I feel like the bar was pretty high.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's like hard to keep up, right?
Right.
When you go,
It's
like-
not sustainable. So
I understand it's not sustainable, but at the same time, I feel like if you had such a good start, do you feel like it's natural to be around her, or do you feel like you have to like put up this like really cool persona to be around her?
oh no, definitely more I can be myself. But obviously like with like some butterflies and like that's what makes it a little uncomfortable. Like not like bad uncomfortable. It's like the good like the where you're nervous a little bit. But it's
Yeah.
just because of the butterflies that I get, yeah.
Gotcha. So after this,
Mm-hmm.
so you said amazing first date. You're excited to see her. Have you already started planning like your first getaway trip together?
I look ahead. I don't look that far.
My friend, I think he was dating this girl for 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and they went to Italy for 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he secured the bag early.
Yeah, so
Like,
now they've been dating for 2 years now.
okay. I guess
So-
there's some success stories with
Well,
that then.
that was one-off thing, but I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying I think I'm really happy to see like you've taken the step. But
Yeah, remember there was an episode you talked about like, hey, I need to help my friend get out there,
See, and I think
and
you
I'm
should
out
do
there,
it.
so
so how do you feel? How do you feel now overall dating? Like, do you think you're excited to go on dates, or do you think also sometimes it happens when you go on a date like this that's so high, that's like your benchmark now.
right. I would say I'm excited to go on dates with like this person.
Okay.
Like I think the person really matters to me. Like I don't really think I would be enjoying just dating around, quote unquote,
Yeah.
where you're kind of seeing what you want or like whatever. Because I was in like a long relationship, so I like know pretty much. I can say I know what I want, and so if it's dating around, like I feel like that's not really that's just me using up resources, my time and money for something that I don't really want. But with this person, I feel like I know the things I want, and this person has a lot of that, and so it makes these things really fun.
So you are very deliberate with your dating. I would.
I would say, yeah. I think people say like that's picky.
Yeah.
I would say actually a good word, like deliberate. Yeah, I would say I'm very intentional with what who I'm dating and like who I want to do dating things with.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that was a lot.
I know it was a lot. I know
think-
that was a good
but I'm
recap.
like so happy for you right now.
Thanks,
I
man.
want you guys. So after you go on this Thursday, we're gonna do a recap and we're
Okay.
gonna capture more of it. And slowly, eventually, who knows, we'll get this person on the pod too. To recap from
Get
her
her
perspective
perspective.
on like how the first
That's
date went.
yeah. We'll see about that.
But if you're watching this, Haley, you know we can keep this pod going with or without you. But all honesty, we do miss you. So
Yeah,
come back soon.
You gotta get your thunderbolt back here.
All right. So, any last words for our audience?
No, I mean, all I say is like for those people that were in my situation where they felt like it wasn't like the sadness wasn't gonna end. It actually does, and you know, once you're ready, you'll know. And I feel like I got to that point. So
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. All right. Take care. Bye bye.
bye bye.
The Beige Flag.